Welcome back, beer tubers. Time to take a look at a beer I've had in my fridge far too long. It was left here by my buddy Daniel Harper. We're going to look at Bell's Batch 10,000. This beer, it's been in my fridge since November of 2011, so it's been around a while. The beer itself is probably close to 2 years old at this point, but Bell's commemorative beer back when they're doing their batch series, and this was the 10,000th batch that they have brewed, which is a lot of batches of beer at a brewery. They've been around a while. They don't list ABV on the bottle, but I'll list that down in the notes. Got it poured out. Style-wise, is kind of a strong ale. If you watch Daniel's review, the Indo Symbiosis on YouTube, he lists all the ingredients in this beer. There's something like close to 100 malts, like 30 plus hops. So it's a big strong ale. Legs on the side of the glass. Pours out like a mahogany red. Good carbonation to it. It's got just a nice kind of tan, light tan head. Let's get the aroma. Wow, it reminds me of English style barley wine, but you can kind of tell that it was maybe more akin to an American style with the hops that were used. There's maybe just a little tiny residual bit of hop note on it. It's a little bit of like an earthy, sort of a slight grass character. Touch of spiciness, but mostly you're getting the malt. Big fig and raisin characteristics. Hints of chocolate, hints of molasses, big breadiness to it. Lots of caramel toffee notes in there as well, so it smells good. Let's dig in. Cheers. It's very mellow. I think the ingredients have finally started to come together on this beer. So if you've been cellaring it and haven't had it in a while, maybe time to break it out, give it a try. And I've been cold storing mine the whole time, so your vintage might vary if you've been doing it at room temperature or cellar temperatures. Up front, I get a brief touch of bitterness, a little bit of like an earthy, woody, spicy, grassy note. Then it goes big sweetness, huge toffee notes to it. It's just big middle toffee, slight bit of like a cherry note in there. The raisins and the figs really come out as well midway through, and then the finish has a nice dryness to it. It's not overly sweet at this point, and dries out nicely thanks to whatever alcohol level is in there, but you really can't taste it, and it's not even overly warming. It's mellowed out very nicely. On the finish, I'm starting to pick up more chocolate notes, molasses, like a hint of a licorice, a little hint of like a roasted coffee note. And there's a lot of malt going into this. I don't know what the ratios were for it. Might have been just a pinch of this, pinch of that, but you certainly get a little bit of those flavors kind of creeping through a little bit, but overall it reminds me of an English style barley wine, which is just big, dark fruit and toffee notes to it. As far as the mouthfeel goes, it's not super thick and syrupy, which is nice. It makes it drinkable. There certainly is a balance slightly towards the sweetness, but I think they hopped it enough originally to kind of counteract that. And there's enough like darker malts to kind of give it a little more dryness as well. Makes it a really drinkable beer. It's just on the high side of medium mouthfeel, but this is doing really well. I have had a few little samples in the past of it. I enjoyed it. Thought it would get better and better, and then I heard today that Bell's might be looking to coming into Southern California, which is awesome. So thought what better time to pop this one open, and hopefully they will show up here in San Diego, and I'll be able to review more of the regular lineup. So as far as batch 10,000 right now, I'm gonna go A- on this one. I think it's really drinkable now. It's worth drinking soon if you have it in the cellar. I think it could still go longer, but it's maybe approaching its peak at this point after all these years. So it's gonna wrap it up. Thanks again to Daniel. Until next time, please comment and subscribe. Cheers.